What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome back to Peace of Happiness 101. And today we have another phenomenal video for you guys. Earlier this week I received a very delicate email. It's from a young man who happened to be dealing with some relationship issues when it comes to his wife finding out that he used to do drugs. He used to be quite addicted with doing drugs, and now that is change his life around, he doesn't know exactly what to do because he has a good job now, he has a full-blown family, but his past happened to be dragging him behind. The problem with it now is that the wife is having a lot of different thoughts about the relationship, and the worst thing he's afraid of right now is that the wife could leave him and probably would take the kids with her. As we were going back and forth trying to find the best solution to that problem, I had only one question in mind that I also wanted to discuss with you guys. That one question was, can someone's past affect their future relationships? Can someone's past affect their future relationship? Let's talk about that. Welcome back to those of you who've been supporting the channel, and if you are new to the channel, feel free to look around. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of relationship advice videos that could definitely help you out in your journey. With that being said, today's question is, can someone's past affect their future relationships? And the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. Someone's past, either if it's an occupation, a job you used to do, or someone you used to be that you're probably not the same person today, it can still affect your relationship. But with everything in mind, there are ways that we could go about it to make it better to the point where it doesn't affect us as much anymore. The first thing that we definitely have to talk about is to talk about it. Yes, talk, communication. And somehow it might be quite difficult to even approach your significant other about something, I would say, that's so significant to your life, to the point where you could feel ashamed even to talk about it to someone that you love or someone who actually loves you. But the main thing that we also have to realize, by you talking about it, you are giving the person options. That's the first thing we need to pay attention to. Options. By giving the person options, you are allowing the person to make the decision, okay, do I want to stay with you or do I want to leave? At that point, you won't even have the chance to build feelings because you're gonna lay it down. You let the person know exactly, yes, I used to be this person, I used to be that person, I used to do this, I used to do that. I am not happy about it. I'm quite ashamed about it, but this is a part of my life that I choose to change. I am not the same person anymore, but at the same time, this is part of my life. By you laying it down to the person, you're giving them options. The second reason you need to talk about it, you don't want your significant other to find that out from another source. You don't want them to find that out from somebody, probably a close friend, or at the family reunion somewhere where everybody's standing, and then to find out that she was the only one or he was the only one not knowing about such situation. Because by them finding out from another source, that could definitely change the relationship for the worse. Not only they're gonna understand that the foundation of the relationship was a complete lie. Basically, it's not a lie, but the fact that you never mentioned it, they're gonna think that this entire relationship was built on a secret that could have been avoided from the get-go. So this is one of the first reasons why you need to let them know, because at that point, if the person decides to stay, maybe they could find a better way to understand your situation from that occupation or from the way you used to do things back in the days. So it is very, very, very important to deal with that thing ahead. The second thing that you could do if you happen to that situation, you need to find someone who's open-minded. You need to find someone who's open-minded. After telling the person something that could probably, I don't know, make them think otherwise about you, you're gonna need somebody who's as open-minded as possible, because by them being open-minded, they could understand the positive path from that. Maybe if you didn't go through that path, it would probably be a little bit difficult to even find them and to be with them this present moment. There's a lot of things to pay attention to when it comes to a path given into life. So by them being open-minded, there's more of a better chance for the person to understand that, okay, yes, this is what he did. Yes, this is what happened. Whatever the situation is, but this is now. The past have already happened, and you didn't let that past define you as a person. So by now, us being together, building a family together, doing something that's as positive as being the person you are right now, I am not gonna let that hurt our relationship. So this is one of the most important things that you definitely need to look for if you were to get back into the dating life, if you are trying to find the best way to stay positive within that path. Despite the fact you telling someone doesn't mean that they automatically gonna stay. If they are not open-minded enough, they might not understand it to the fullest. Right next to open-minded, the third thing is maturity level. Yes. Someone could listen to everything that you tell them. They could be as open-minded to think that, yes, I do understand and believe everything you said, and I understand that people go through things, but my maturity level won't allow me to even stay in that relationship. And that's basically for me the biggest things. Let's say that somebody used to do drugs, or you used to be an exotic dancer, or you actually went to jail for a few years, for whatever the reason is. Sometimes it's gonna take a very mature person to understand that path. For them to really accept and go with it, they're gonna need to be mature. For instance, if we take the exotic dancer as an example, we live in a very hypocritical established society. That only means by you going to the exotic dancers and watch whatever they do, a lot of people would tell you, yeah, I'm okay with watching, but I never see myself being and spending the rest of my life with an exotic dancer. You see what the situation is? Yes, they will spend money on it. They'll go and watch behind their wives or behind their girlfriends. But the problem with it is they'll tell you that, you know what? I don't ever see myself being in a full-blown relationship with an exotic dancer. The only thing they're not understanding is that the exotic dancer is actually a person. And that person is probably doing something that they could benefit for their future. Maybe the person is paying for school. Maybe the person has a terrible path of life where they had to do things for them to have a place to stay, to find food. There are endless of reasons that people do things just to provide themselves with what's needed. So by us being judgmental, by us not being open-minded, and by us having the lack of maturity, that could actually change the entire path. And this is one of the reasons why it is a little bit difficult for a lot of people to understand that, yes, your past can actually affect your future relationship. They do not think about all the other things because not everybody's going to be mature. Not everybody's going to be open-minded. Not everybody's going to have a positive reaction to the fact that you told them the truth. And that's one of the reasons why some people, they're going to choose not to say anything. The thought of them losing you by telling you exactly who they used to be or what have actually happened in their lives, they're gonna be like, you know what? Knowing what the reaction's gonna be, I'm just gonna keep everything to myself. And at that point, you can't really blame them because, as I said earlier, we live in a very hypocritical established society. Regardless of how we see it, people are gonna judge us. Regardless of how we see it, people are gonna be hypocritical about things despite the fact that we like it or not. This is how society is. So at this point, the best way, as I mentioned, is to not only talk about it, make sure that the person you're talking to is open-minded. And on top of that, you need to see maturity. If the person is not mature enough, it's going to be quite difficult for them to grasp everything. It's going to be quite difficult, especially if they don't have the same lifestyle as you. If they don't have the same lifestyle as you, it's going to be even more difficult for them to understand what you had to go through in order for you to make ends meet. You know what I mean? But the reality for what it is that yes, unfortunately, someone's past can and will affect your future relationships. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment below. Let us know what you think about the video. If we've missed something in the process, feel free to let us know. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. We'd like to thank each and every one of you guys who've been with us from the get-go. We appreciate the love, we appreciate the support, we appreciate all the comments on each post. And for those of you that are just coming in, we welcome you to the channel. Feel free to look around. And don't forget to leave us a subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we have so much more to show you. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.